We can't overemphasize the fact homosexualism has been in existence for long in the history of human, and it's becoming a norm in our society today. I am Cyprian Joy, your host, joined by Pastor Ebere Onwura, Mr. Festus, and my co-host Mary Jane Unwosu. Welcome to Afro Issue.
Thank you.
Do LGBT people have rights in Nigeria, Mr. Festus?
Yeah, that's a lesbian, gay,
Bisexual
and transgender people. In Nigeria, legally, they don't have rights. They don't have rights legally in Nigeria. That act is a criminal offense, so they don't have rights.
So it's illegal in Nigeria.
Yeah, it's illegal to practice.
But then it exists here. You have them here, though they function underground.
But do you think the 14 years jail term given to them by the government is actually harsh? Because people see it as being harsh. People here in Nigeria see it as being harsh on them, on the LGBT community. So do you think they are actually being harsh, or they are just performing their duties as leaders?
Well, for me, the government is performing their duty as leaders because the rules are already set. Okay, they have the constitution on that, and so when you go into breaking certain laws, you should be ready for the consequences. Okay, though personally, I do not see it as a solution to the problem at hand.
For me, I think 14 years later they are being harsh.
Okay. Why do you say so?
These people are human beings. We have other crimes that needs to attract that punishment, and we're not looking at that.
Like these Boko Haram people.
Yeah, we have corrupt leaders taking our money outside the country. We're not looking at that. We're focusing on giving
that's even more
LGBT
criminal.
people 14 years time. It's not okay.
Where you have
they have other ways of tackling it and not giving them 14 years.
And
so I don't subscribe to that 14 years.
I think it's more criminal that a lady should buy jewelry worth over 14 billion naira, and nobody is raising eyebrow about that, and they are going about harassing people, exercising
so many
their
things that
human
are
rights.
consequential in Nigeria.
Okay, let's look at the religious view of this. Religious front and dimension of homosexuality. Is it considered devilish, or does religion see it as a sin like fornication?
Right from the beginning, religion has its stand on homosexuality and lesbianism and all that. From the beginning, the law then said that any man or woman that gets involved, a fellow man or woman, should be stoned to death. Okay, so it is considered as a sin, as a disobedience to spiritual injunction. Okay, from the onset. And we remember that was the exact reason why Sodom and Gomorrah was erased, was destroyed because of such perversion.
Let me say something. You see, religion considers it a sin, but even though I too consider it a sin, but I'm looking at it in the aspect of, if lying can take you to hell, it's still the same measure of homosexuals. But people are making it look as if homosexual is more sin compared to lying, compared to stealing,
no
compared
sin,
to other things.
No sin is bigger than the other. Sin is sin. Whatever you do that is against God's instruction is a sin. Okay, even unbelief is a sin. Okay, yes. But oftentimes, we hype certain actions. We see them as more treacherous than some others. Okay, but sin is sin. Okay, but notwithstanding, just like also the Bible talks about human beings, like people who have sexual relations with animals.
Yeah.
Okay, so such things.
Of course, animals can also be gay.
Of course, and such things are also with death penalty attached to them. Okay, so the point is that there are rules that have been set. So whoever wants to break away from those rules should also be ready for the consequences.
So this rule also implies with hermaphrodites.
They're all the same. How do we even come about hermaphrodites? Because God did not create male, female from the onset we were told that God created them male and female. You
I
are
think-
either male or you're female.
I think you should tell us how did that come about?
How am I supposed to know? I'm a
That's
scientist. Okay, but I think he must have some kind of maybe abusive use of certain drugs. Okay, or some people actually go for surgical procedures. Like you have in the transgenders.
Yeah.
The male goes and they cut off the penis and they create vagina. I don't know how they are able to achieve that. These doctors, I think the punishment should also be extended to the doctors.
When we talk about hermaphrodites, I think we should research more, to know how it came about. Because I interacted with somebody that knows somebody who is a hermaphrodite.
Okay.
He said he was born like that. I'm still wondering.
Or could there be some kind of spiritual manipulation, possibly?
Or some missing links.
Yeah, maybe there's some kind of spiritual. We live in a world. I have seen a woman who carried pregnancy for 4 years and a half.
Wow.
Okay, so
Wow. That's true.
there are so many things happening, and somebody even recently, a pastor was teaching us some things and said he came across a woman who was carried in the womb for 10 years and some months. So how do you explain all of that? Anything can happen, along the line while you're being stretched in the womb for beyond the gestational period. Okay, so if they could keep a baby for 4 years, they could also manipulate some things in the child.
Okay, now,
the child
Mr.
is
Festus, we've seen cases where people are being straight. Sorry to say, we've seen cases where people are being straight, like a man with a wife and kids, and all of a sudden he comes out and say, "Oh, I'm gay." Does this mean that people are actually converted to being gay, or is something that they are born with?
No, I don't think they are born with it. I think those ones are heterosexual. Is that right? Is that the word, right?
Yes, that's
Yeah,
heterosexual. Yes.
Heterosexual, yeah.
Yeah, they are
Or
heterosexuals.
bisexuals.
So they are not born gay. When you see real gay, they don't have anything to do
with women.
Women.
Okay.
Just like real lesbians.
Yeah.
They don't want a man touching them at all. They just go for their fellow female. But nobody was born in that manner. There's this saying, an adage in Igbo land that says that even if every other thing passes away, one's personal opinion is your personal opinion, and you don't just push it aside.
You see it first.
Yeah. So they can do better by creating some kind of rehabilitation center where you can reorient these people's mindset, because a lot of them believe that that's how God created them. They need to know that this is not how God created them. It's a character trait that they picked along the line.
Sorry, under the human rights, under the human right, don't you think their right is not being given to them?
What is their right? Perversion.
Right to express themselves.
I know. I do not think that it's just like saying that somebody stealing is his right to just pass and pick something, or somebody that is prostituting. Will it be because it's your body? Should we encourage the person to just go prostitute?
Like when they try to rape younger ones, that's when it should be punishable. But
otherwise, we should just let them be.
Otherwise, they should
homosexual
exercise their
selves.
rights. Yeah, they should exercise their
Well,
rights.
I don't share your idea. I don't share that opinion at all.
Okay, we'll pause for a short break. We'll be right back.
This is Afro Issues.
Hi, this is Zach Orji, Nollywood actor and filmmaker. Keep watching and keep following Afro Issues.
This is Afro Issues.
Welcome back. So, Pastor Berry, let me take you back to what you said about homosexuality, lesbianism being practiced in school, prison, and any other places. Is this something parents should look into?
Oh yes, apart from parents, I think it's more like what schools
should look into,
because the parent has already handed over the children to the school. Okay, I remember when we were in school, I went to a all-girls school. Okay, I remember those days. The principal was particular about girls tying up. You see them use wrapper to form cubicle around their beds.
Yeah.
Once we see, the principal made it was a law, you are not to tie wrapper. Whatever you want to do, if you're not ashamed of what you want to do, go ahead and do it so that everybody will see what you're doing. So it was a law not to tie wrappers around the iron
Bed
beds,
corners.
bed corners, then to form, protection for them. Okay, so anyone that was seen then with such, we knew that something else much more than meets the eye
Is happening
is
there.
happening behind the scene there. Okay, so schools should actually, there's something about the mind. It all is all in the mind. Your action starts right from the person's way of thinking.
Yeah.
So the schools should have, sessions with the children, the students, reorient them and disabuse their minds from some of these mindsets. Because some of them pick those things along the line, and after a while, they convince themselves that that was how they were made. Okay, if that was how the person was made, then you should have started practicing homosexuality right from maybe baby stage.
Yeah.
As soon as you could know your private part, you start practicing. If that was, after all, you give birth to a baby, nobody teaches the baby how to suck breast. Nobody teaches the baby how to cry. Nobody teaches the baby. You just find that stages the child begins to...
But we've also seen cases where these things are happening in primary schools, like
the
primary
perversion
one, primary two.
continues.
You see such a thing happening.
Just like we have cults now in primary schools. Those days it used to be a university practice,
Yeah.
but now the secondary school is even moving down to the primary school.
Okay, sorry, let me cut it short. If we actually want to talk about reorientation of homosexuals, let me borrow a leaf from a saying of one Nigerian leader, one of the past leaders. He said, any insurgents that lasted more than 48 hours, there's a government hand in it.
Okay.
So borrowing a leaf from that, these homosexuals that they are trying to make it look as if they want to ban it, they are putting a law against it. Most people at the top places are involved in it.
Yes, I agree.
Other countries were able to pass the law to promote homosexual, their rights, to promote their right, because they have people in the lawmakers, in the chambers.
Who are practitioners of
Yes.
this same perversion.
So if Nigeria actually want to come out and say we don't want this, they know how to tackle it, they know
So
what to do.
are you saying the government is being biased with this kind of situation?
No, what I'm saying is they know what to do. They know what to do to stop it, to put an end to it.
Well, actually, it's a bias. They are biased because the truth is that many of them at the top are practitioners of homosexuality. A lot of them there, because this practice starts from secondary schools. They carry it on even when they are senators. They are still practicing it. Even when they are top ladies in the society, they carry it on. I know of a particular family where the man discovered the wife, came in suddenly, had to get home for something he forgot in the morning, and found the wife with another lady in bed. And the lady looked him straight in the eye and told him that she would rather divorce him than quit the act.
Yeah.
Okay, so it continues, and a lot of them are in top there. So why are they shielding themselves and punishing?
What I'm asking, why pretend to, pretend as if they want to ban it, pretend to give 14 years jail time?
Meanwhile, they are involved in
To
it.
who? To who are they giving
To
the 14
those
years?
who don't have voice.
Yeah, so
Those who cannot protect themselves. Okay, so I think it's a charade. They should actually come out and promote it. They should legalize it so that.
But obviously there are health implications relating to the LGBT community. What exactly are these implications?
Well, one basic one with the homosexuals is the what they call it. There's this disease that comes with the anus. Cancer of the anus. That's what leads to cancer of the anus. Okay, and so many other things. I also heard that it was how we came about some of these diseases that we are having.
Yeah, both HIV.
Yeah.
HIV and all that. That was how it got transmitted into our society, of which till date we have not found solution to them. Okay, so they are basically, and apart from that, you find that once a man is homosexual, a woman is a lesbian, they lose natural response to natural sex with opposite sex. A woman that is a lesbian does not enjoy sex with a man anymore. Okay, and the man, vice versa. The woman is more like irritating to him.
But is it possible, sorry, Mr. Festo, but is it possible to talk someone out of LGBT?
It's possible. I believe it's possible because the psychologists say that every action that was learned can equally be unlearned. It just the mindset. Once you're able to, first of all, let the person know that you were not created this way. It came along the line, and you became brainwashed to begin to think that is a normal way of life. So you also have to go through the same process of talking them out of it, making them understand that it is a perversion. It is not a normal thing. Okay, so that they can begin to now take a decision to reverse it.
I don't think it's easy to talk them out of it because they will have their own opinion. They will ask you if you have the right to judge them.
No, you're not judging them. You don't make it look as if you're judging them. It's just like a drug addict.
Not look as if you're judging them because they will see it as you have your own opinion. Why tell me to come out of this?
No. We have to have a psychological analysis of what they are into. Okay, let's say that every woman is a lesbian and every man is a homo. How do we continue the human race? Because at some point we become extinct. How do you continue the human race? Because except a man meets with a woman, there is no procreation. So you need to appeal to their sense of logic, so that they don't see it as being judged. No, you have to convince them that you want to help them out of a perversion. Okay, not that you're judging them. The same way we create rehab centers for drug addicts, because this is an addiction. Whether we like it or not, it's an addiction. The person over time has, grown to just love having it with the same sex, the same gender. Okay,
yeah.
It's just the same way you get addicted to smoking, cocaine, or all those heroin and the rest of them, all those hard things. Just like the man that smokes. You meet people that smoke. If they have not smoked a stick in certain hours, it's as if the world is going to crumble. That's the same way they feel. So somehow we can help them.
Pastor Berry, we've seen cases where LGBT people adopt kids put away by straight people. What do you make of this?
Exactly my point. Why would you want to go and adopt a child that somebody who is normal has produced? Why wouldn't you want to produce your own? Is there anything medically wrong with the person? No. So that's where you need to begin. And you wonder what kind of moral upbringing are they even going to give to the child? Because we'll end up having more of such perversions, on the pipeline. Because those children will grow up and continue the same practice. Okay, so if they love kids, then why don't we encourage them to get off the line they are towing so that they can produce kids too for themselves, rather than going to go and pick up the ones that somebody else has brought into the society. I think it should be a good point to actually, if they are interested in children, then there's still a part of them that is still normal.
Yes.
There's still a part of them that is still normal that we could help them from.
So what about you, Mr. Festus? Do you have anything to say about LGBT people adopting kids put away by straight people?
There are so many things I can say. Like, the straight people, why did they give birth to children that they cannot take care of? Though the LGBT people, they are trying to, take these kids out from the streets, make them a better person. But if you look at it the both ways, the two parties, both the straight people, they didn't do well by giving birth to people that they can't take care of.
But when this happens,
but
will you leave the child to just be on the street
you
like
can't leave the child to die of hunger. So if
in some communities, they do die of hunger.
No,
Wow,
no.
that's
What the person can do is to like what some of them do. Some of these young girls that have children, away from um, marriages, they just package the baby, come close to a church, and just dump the baby there and waka.com.
Pastor Iberi, we've seen cases where pastors are being gay, right? What do you have to say about them? If your pastor or your reverend father can be gay, sorry to say, what is it going to tell the people?
Well, in my little time on earth, I have found out that, you know, a lot of the preachers you see preach one thing and they do a completely different thing altogether when they are off the pulpit. Okay, but that's by the way anyway. The pastor can preach very well and still practice what he personally practices at home, but that is not to say that it should be encouraged. And that's why we should remove some of these restrictions, because when you tell a full-blown young man that is not sick in any way not to marry, and then the
You
person,
mean relating to the Reverend Fathers?
Talking about the Reverend Fathers, because you find that more amongst the Reverend Fathers.
Yeah.
Okay, with all due respect to them. Okay, we're not here to castigate or put down anybody. Okay, but you might find that these things happen. The sexuality of a man, when I say a man, I mean a human being, is what is naturally there. And when somebody is not a eunuch, or you're not sick, as in maybe impotent, naturally such sexual urges will come, whether you like it or not. Okay, so why restrict them? Let them marry, than pretend not to be married and behind the curtains you're doing something else. So I think they should really look into the Reverend Fathers not marrying. They should revisit that issue, because not marrying or marrying does not make you more how do I put it? More holier than anybody.
Reverend Pastor, this revisiting the Catholic Church doctrine, don't you think they put this thing, if you want to become a Reverend Father, these are the rules that you should follow? If it's okay by you, you can join the seminary. Okay, if it's not okay by you, you stay away.
It's okay if you're joining the seminary, you're becoming a Reverend Father. And, like where they got that from, because that's not God's law. It's not God that gave such doctrine. That's man-made doctrine. It wasn't from God at all. It was St. Paul that said it. He said he made up his mind not to marry. St. Paul did not marry. And he did not go behind the curtain to be touching anything or touching anybody. He stayed strictly celibate and pursued. He said, I strive daily to apprehend that for which I've been apprehended, for which I've been called. And he kept to it. So if you want to go in there and you say, okay, I don't want to marry, strict, stay, don't marry, but don't go behind the curtains. Okay, otherwise, let them marry. So that
Finally, what's your take on homosexuality? If it's a problem, what's the solution for that?
Well, like I said earlier, it's a perversion that has crept into the society, and it seems to be spreading. I believe that the solution to that is to begin to reorient the minds of people right from onset. Let the children even coming up who have not even started practicing it know that this is a perversion. This is not how God created you, and you don't have to toe that line. And those of them who are already there, like I said earlier, every learned action can be unlearned. Every learned lifestyle can be unlearned. So let's put more effort at reorienting them by having a rehab center where we take them to and have psychologists who can be put on them to reorient them so that we can pull them out of
Any other
some
opinion,
practice.
Mr. Festus?
Yeah, I think it's a problem. I think homosexuality is a counter-one that has eaten deep into the fabric of our society. The solution I think should be proffered is even though Nigeria as a country has tagged it a crime, it's a criminal act in Nigeria, I think the stipulated 14 years penalty is too much. I think it should be looked into, and I think if they want to really put an end to it, they should tackle it from the head. What I mean by tackling from the head, they should look at it from where it started. Where does it start? From childhood all the way to leadership, places of leadership. Because most people that are into it now, they are in top places and you cannot get them. So they should tackle it where they are. They should look at where they are supposed to look at to put an end to it.
Alright, we'll come to the end of today's wonderful show. Join us same time next week, and don't forget to visit our page showing below your screen. Thank you for staying tuned. I remain your host, Cyprian Joy. Bye.